All right. Welcome back. Another day. More discussions, more topics to get into today. So, before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel so every single time that I post, all that good shit like that when I go live. We got a couple things I want to discuss, a couple things I want to watch, a couple things I want to talk about. So, we got Stephen A. Smith and his apology to Okanashi. I believe that's how you say his name, Okanashi, something like that, of baseball for his comments. We have Kwame Brown wanting an apology from, I don't know if he wants an apology per se, but saying that he didn't get an apology as well, comparing himself to Stefano Okanashi or whatever his name is. I want to react to these XXL freshmen freestyles just released: Coil Ray, DDG, Lakia, and Moray. What else I want to talk about? I want to talk about white people in hip hop because I've seen a couple of videos that are pretty interesting about this. Jack Harlow did an interview about this. And we're going to get into DaBaby and the backlash he's gotten so far on social media because he didn't want to get the kids the money. So anyways, first things first, get to Stephen A. Because I think this is interesting because Stephen A says wild shit all the time. Whether you agree with Stephen A, whether you disagree with Stephen A, whether you like him or not, it's irrelevant. But ESPN Stephen A. Smith apologized after saying Shui Otahani needs an interpreter is harming the game. So I want to see if I can, where am I at on my list? I'm over here. All right. So anyways, Stephen A. Smith is paid to talk. He does so very well. But every once in a while, all that talking can get you in trouble. On Monday, Smith was on ESPN's First Take, as he is every weekday, when the topic of Los Angeles Stars pitcher and hitter Shui Otani was brought up. Smith was asked if it was good for Major League Baseball that Otani, who has become the sport's number one attraction. Smith, well known for never holding back, took a controversial angle. The fact that this is Stephen A. Smith's words, the fact that you got a foreign player that doesn't speak English, that needs an interpreter, believe it or not, I think contributes to harming the game to some degree when that's your box office appeal. It needs to be somebody like Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, those guys, and unfortunately at this moment in time, that's not the case. Otani is from Japan, and while he's not fluent, he can speak English a little bit, and he also speaks Spanish. When you talk about an audience gravitating to the tube or to the ballpark to actually watch you, I don't think it helps that the number one face is a dude that needs an interpreter, so you can understand what the hell he's saying in this country. Smith said, and that's what I'm trying to say. So at a certain point, I'm not gonna lie, in a certain level, I see what he's trying to say. In America, to drive people from America to the sport, a Japanese guy who could barely speak English probably shouldn't be your number one attraction. Right? Now, if you want to grow baseball in Japan, having him as a number one attraction is great because they're going to support like a mug. That's why when you look at other sports like UFC, is it beneficial for them to have Zhang Wei Li as the champion for America to bring in more American fans? No. You seen at the fight with Rose Namajunas. She came to America, they were booing, tearing the house down. We don't want you here. Well, I'm not going to say they were saying we don't want you here, but, you know, they're not rocking with it. You're from China. You're in America. They want Rose Namajunas to win. She's from America. But the UFC's mind was we need to get bigger in China. So when she won, that was a big deal for them in China. So I kind of get what Stephen A. saying. But I get in this landscape saying that does sound a little bit racist, does sound a little bit insensitive. I get all those things like that. But if you really break it down, if you want to bring more American people to baseball, having a guy from Japan who could barely speak English, being the best player in baseball, will not bring those eyes because a lot of people are attracted to things that they can relate to, and a lot of people won't be able to relate, even if he's cold. I'm impressed by the guy. When I play MLB The Show, I got Shui Otani, I don't know how to say his name. He's on my team. He could pitch and he could hit. I've never seen no shit like that before. Now, that maybe I think Babe Ruth, but that was back in the 30s, the 40s. That was a long time ago. This guy's on another level. He's pitching and hitting. So I respect the game, but I do see what he's saying. You want Mike Trout to be the star. You want Bryce Harper to be the star. You want these guys to be the star because you want to bring more American fans to the game, and that's just what they relate to. They relate to that. Just as if there was a black guy that was the star, a lot more black people probably watch baseball. Like there's like an amazing. There is some actually like Mookie Betts. There's some people, but like the face of the league. then you bring those people in. But I guess I don't know. Maybe Stephen A. saying that they're trying to bring more white people in. They need white people to be the face of baseball because baseball is a white sport, and having a Japanese guy that's the face of it isn't the best look for them. But I get how it could be misconstrued, and I get how he needed to apologize because in the times we're living in, that's not the best take. Because if that was a white man that said that, he probably would have been fired. If Stephen A. was a white man, he might be done. Stephen A. might have been fired. He might not no longer work for ESPN anymore. He might have got suspended for a couple weeks. Something would happen. If it was what's that old white guy? Not old. He's not old. But what's that white guy's name who used to work at ESPN and he went over to Fox now? He was like their conservative sports person. I don't remember I forgot what the hell his name was. He's on Fox News now. If he would have said that, there'd have been uproar, backlash. They'd try to send his ass right on over to Fox News like he is. But I don't know why Stephen A's tried to clean it up in his response about Shuhei Ohtani.
My segment on Ohtani this morning.
Ohtani, that's it.
People are misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm not talking about the state of the game. Baseball itself. Baseball's a great game, a great sport. And some of the greatest players in the world are foreign players. Tatis comes to my mind. I love this brother and what he brings to the table. And Ohtani is the second coming of Babe Ruth, okay? That's not what I was trying to say. I'm talking about the marketability and the promotion of the sport is exactly what Sports Illustrated essentially alluded to in their article last month when they talked about 28% of the players in Major League Baseball are foreign players. A lot of them need translators. You know, Spanish, it could be Mandarin, Japanese, the list goes on and on and on. If you are a sport trying to ingratiate yourself with the American public the way Major League Baseball is, because of the problems that you've been having to deal with in terms of improving the attractiveness of the sport, it helps that if you spoke the English language. It doesn't mean anything more than that. Baseball is a great game, but baseball's audience is significantly older than the NBA, the NFL audience, etc., etc. That's what I was talking about.
You're not saying they're older. You're saying they're whiter. He's not saying because they're older. He's saying because baseball fans are white. He's not going to say it here, but he means because they're whiter.
Nothing more. We're only talking about Ohtani because he's phenomenal. He's going to be in the home run derby, and he's got 33 home runs with a 279 batting average. Plus, he can pitch, and he's the second coming of Babe Ruth, practically. We know it's an international sport. We know that that's great. And baseball having a global appeal that it is, fine. But in the United States, all I was saying is that when you're a superstar, if you can speak the English language, then guess what? That's going to make it that much easier and less challenging to promote the sport. That's all I was saying.
I mean, like I said, in my response to it, I get what Stephen A. Smith is trying to say. In this generation will be taken well? No. Does it, in a way, sound a little bit ignorant? Yes. But if you break it down, to appeal to American fans, he said older. Obviously, we're talking about more white people that watch baseball more than anybody else. To have somebody who is not white be the face of the league will not attract more people to the league. Not because they're racist, just because people like to identify themselves with things that they watch most times. But anyways, I want to read this clip. I want to read his apology. Let me apologize right now as I'm watching things unfold. Let me say that I never intended to offend any community, particularly the Asian community, and especially Shuhei Ohtani himself. As an African American, keenly aware of the damage stereotyping has done to many in this country, it should have elevated my sensitivities even more. Based on my words, I failed in that regard, and it's on me and me alone. Ohtani is one of the brightest stars in all of sports. He is making a difference as it pertains to inclusiveness and leadership. I should have embraced that in my comments. Instead, I screwed up. In this day and age, with all the violence being perpetrated against the Asian community, my comments, albeit unintentional, were clearly insensitive and regrettable. There's simply no other way to put it. I'm sincerely sorry for any angst I've caused with my comments on First Take this morning. Again, I'm sorry, and I'll happily reiterate these words more extensively tomorrow morning as well. So that's Stephen A. Smith's apology. But this article is not necessarily only about that. This article is Stephen A. Smith apologized to everyone apart from me. Kwame Brown blast the analyst amid his racist comments against the Nigerian team and Shuhei Ohtani. So Kwame Brown, we already know him and Stephen A. They got the bag for it. They don't have a good relationship. Let's just say that. So Diehard sports fans not only watch the game, they also like to watch the pregame and postgame interviews, and even what analysis and former legends of the sports have to say. Stephen A. Smith is one of the most popular analysts in the business and has a massive fan following. Why are we going up? What are we doing? Ever since he started his career as an analyst, he had the image of an entertainer with the sports community. In several instances, Stephen A. makes all his takes extremely controversial and sometimes even funny to get his viewers engaged. However, on his recent most episode of First Take, Smith's comments were not even remotely close to being funny. We already went through it. Otani showed me the face of baseball because he's a Japanese-born player, doesn't know English. The analyst just didn't stop there. While reacting to Team USA's first exhibition game, the 53-year-old mocked the Nigerian team. He didn't even put any effort into pronouncing their names right. Understandably, the entire sporting community is enraged, and Stephen A. Smith even gave a highly required public apology. We just read the apology a second ago. So, during the course of Kwame Brown's career, Stephen A. Smith heavily criticized the 6'11" big man. Stephen A. Smith even went to the extent of saying that Brown couldn't play a lick of basketball. Well, just like any other player would, Kwame has taken all of Smith's nasty comments personally and not shied away from repeatedly exposing the analyst whenever possible. Yesterday, the former first-round pick of the 2021 NBA draft decided to blast the analyst yet again. Amid the entire fiasco Stephen is going through, Kwame decided to blast the analyst even more. NBA draft, the 12-year NBA veteran, threw a few unpleasantries at the analyst while complaining that Stephen A. never apologized to him and his cult. Now, I don't know if this article, whoever wrote this, likes Kwame Brown, but, calling somebody's fan base a cult is kind of like, it's a little like passive-aggressive. So, yesterday night, Kwame went on his live YouTube channel and said, Stephen A., you punk-ass bitch, what the fuck? You apologize to everybody else. I thought you said you apologized to the groups you offend. What about us? I didn't know anything about it, Stephen A. incident. But after learning about the incident, Brown said, oh, well, he going to have to apologize to the Asians or whoever he offended, but he's not going to say shit to us. He apologized to everybody apart from us. So, this is the one thing about this that I don't think that Kwame Brown necessarily wants an apology for himself. I don't think he's fiending for a Stephen A. Smith apology. But I'm gonna be honest, this situation, the Otani situation, and kind of mocking the Nigerian basketball team and whatever he was doing, I didn't see that part. I just the whole Otani shit has been the biggest shit that's been going on. It's a difference from mocking someone and their playing ability, which could be nasty, it could be taken over the top. I get Kwame Brown's stance when he says you can take food out of people's pocket because the media warps everything, and then the league, the insiders, the fans, they run with that narrative of you if the media's voice is strong enough in pushing that message about you. I get it. But there is still a difference. Commenting on your playing style, whether I say you're trash, you're as good as a dumpster, how harsh the criticism of your play is, in today's society, they're always going to go and be outraged more over the race thing. The fact that he said Otani can't speak English, he's Japanese, is not going to translate over to baseball, that's why he had to apologize. Not necessarily because they're Asian or there's a lot of things going on with the Asian community. Now, that could play a role because, like I said, Stop Asian Hate's big. The government passed the Asian hate crime bill faster than they passed the George Floyd Policing Act. Faster, they haven't even signed the anti-lynching bill, and that bill's been on the floor hundreds of times. They can't even pass the anti-lynching bill, but they passed the Stop Asian Hate bill or whatever it was called. So I get the hypocrisies and you want to couch out to these people and not these people. Stephen A., you need to apologize to your people. But like I said, I don't think criticizing people for their play is the same as criticizing someone because of their race or criticizing someone because of their ethnicity or things of that nature. So there's a difference between this. But Kwame Brown's gonna take the any chance he gets to kind of shit on Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith having a bad day. You could be sure that Kwame Brown will be on his channel to discuss, to talk about, and kind of boil up the flames. It's very entertaining, but I don't look at two as the same as it's of the same coin, especially in the realm of mainstream and what people care about, because people look at Stephen A. criticizing a player and how they play as, he's just doing his job. He's critiquing their skill. He's critiquing their basketball IQ, whatever he's critiquing. This one had nothing to do. It wasn't that Otani was being pushed to the forefront because he's Japanese, but he was a shitty player. He's actually one of the best players in baseball. Like he said in the video, 33 home runs, and he's a pitcher. This is something we've never seen. This is like the second coming, like he said, of Babe Ruth. So you should be a little bit more sensitive to the fact of what you're saying about this person. So I don't look at them as one and the same, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this. So off the Stephen A. onto music. I really want to react to this XXL Freshman List live. I hope that YouTube. I'm gonna get to it on my phone as well because I want to make sure. I want to see if YouTube takes it down. I just want to react to it. I've seen a little bit of it. I've seen articles about Coi Leray, and people were saying that Coi Leray's part was trash. I don't know, but we will see. Well, actually, I have seen the snippet, and I can say by the snippet of the XXL Freshman freestyles, it doesn't look like it's going to be the most entertaining. Doesn't look like it's going to be the most talent-based Cypher in a while. So let me see if I can pull that up. If it cuts out, then, you know, it cut out because YouTube don't play that shit. And I might need to go start streaming on Twitch. Because at least Twitch will let you play the shit, and then they can copyright it later. But YouTube, I don't think plays that. But let's see. Here we go. It's DDG, Lakaya, Moray, and Coi Leray. Brought to you by Dave. Salute Lil Dicky, freshman XL alumni.
Nick, you're stupid.
Whole lot of my old homies didn't make it here. Gotta stay strapped and be ready if we take it there. Life short, but this clip is longer than Jamaica here. Never have I claimed to be a gangster, but it's safer here. With this pistol in my hand, I'm protecting all these bands. They be fucking up the brand when I lend a helping hand. So I gotta be alone, make the money on my own. If it's smoke, then meet me man to man, nigga fuck his own. Now we live in luxury, that's just a summary. In the line of fire, trust my brother, he gon' cover me. Internet trolls and the critics really under me. Had to realize they only poppin' just because of me, they stressing me. Why my bitch be tripping, she be testing me. I don't know that bitch, it ain't my fault that she be texting me. Why you just can't cook, give me kisses and have sex with me? Do you get upset when I'm annoyed and give you less of me? Fuck, I don't know. What the fuck that I'ma do with you? I know you stab me in my back, but I'm so cool with you. Cause when coming to them racks, they don't know who is who. Niggas switch up for the dollars. I be trying to be positive, but the drama, it be constantly following on my mama. But I guess it's the side effects of the commas. Gang.
All right, DDG. I like DDG. I like the story of DDG. I like the coming from YouTube to pranks to fake relationships to this to that to getting a big hit with Blueface to trying to transition to music. I like that. But the freestyle, you know, and it's kind of hard because at what level do you critique these people at? Right? Because obviously this isn't a freestyle. They had to have been able to write the shit down before. There's no way they just had these guys out there freestyle. I don't believe so. But is it okay to say that shit? I won't say trash. I won't say trash. But are we allowed to at least say like shit was like mediocre? Like shit isn't like top tier level, especially like just the whole vibe of it's all dark in there. The beat's kind of tinkery dinkery. I don't know if I like this beat. I mean, Nick Mir, internet, I guess that's some new age shit. I don't really know too much about him or how he does production. But let's see what Lakai got.
The biggest flex of YBIC. I'm different from all these niggas. Ask Coach XP. I got the top niggas vouching for a bitch like me. I touch the shit I get for bookings way before QC. I'm feeling like I can't be fucked with. I don't mean to be cocky, but the competition ain't switching up the flows of the topics. Chrome hearts all on my body, bless more hoes than a profit. All them bitches counting my pockets, tell drop a deposit. I'm fly as a pilot. New season Dior, Fendi, and Prada. How the fuck she a freshman when she dropped out of college? And how the fuck she go so hard when she look like a model? Buy a bitch life. Legally, I can't even buy me a bottle. They know I'm a problem. Got these bitches out here trying to step it up. Couple hating bitches hating on me since I leveled up. Catching more G's than them Z's, bitch, I ran it up. Leave a broke nigga to the streets, he could never fuck. Yeah, so all these bitches is in trouble now. My name hold weight around this bitch, I'm like 100 pounds. Chain cost 100,000, Blicky let off 100 rounds.
Not a lot of weight.
Bad talk, ain't gotta tell him how I'm coming now. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. And this could be, I might be giving her a slight edge in the woman, you know, this sexist. I don't know, not the woman standard, but fuck it. I think her shit sounded better than DDG shit. I think it flowed a little bit better than DD shit. I don't know. She got off beat for a little bit of the second. The beat kind of slowed down and it did something a little weird towards the middle. But I think I would take her. I think I'll take Lakia, or whatever her name is. I'll take her freestyle over a DDG so far. I think if they're going to order like this, Moray should be next. Moray to me is probably one of the most talented people on the list as far as vocals and making music, and then obviously Blast, but that's another Cypher that's going to come out. But let's listen to the next one.
Fire.
I think it was all right. It was good.
Fire.
Okay, nigga, you hyping now. He hyping.
I say I had something written, but fuck a nigga ain't gon' say it. The gun in my hip, I swear to God, I show it, I spray it. You niggas better believe what the fuck a nigga saying. In the building with all these great niggas, bitch, it's amazing. Bitch, XXL, I don't think them niggas ready. The balls that we got on these flows, that's super heavy. Got Corley Ray, DDG and my homie here. She came on show y'all niggas what the balls is real, nigga, ain't no fear. Fucking NC stand up, nigga 2-6, man, we the greatest. You niggas say who the best, but just me, ain't no debating. Fuck it, don't gotta write it. Fuck it, I'd rather spit it. Niggas talking about toilet balls, bitch, I'm shitting. Like, whoa, what you mean you want the dough? And you niggas talking bullshit, but I'm the one with the flows. All the top bitches shit is hot, what the fuck you niggas know? If I come outside the strip club, now I'm coming with the pose. Bitch.
I think he freestyled out. I think he freestyled. Just because I don't know, when people start bringing motherfuckers' names into it and what just happened previously, I think that he freestyled it. Even though I've heard on XXL, they shoot this shit like a million times, so he probably knew what he was going to say like after he said it a million times, but whatever. This is Coi Leray. What's going on, man? What's going on? Hey, what's going on? But this Coi Leray, I've seen a lot of people talking shit about her on social media. To me, Coi Leray, besides Pooh Shiesty, would be the probably most well-known person on the list. I mean, DDG, but that's like YouTube fame. I'm talking about like in the music industry type fame. So let's see what Coi Leray got.
Watch us all get lit, ayy. Watch us all get rich, ayy. Couple niggas with bricks, couple niggas hold sticks, ayy. Bitch, I love my butter.
Moray hyping back there.
My wrist, ayy. Gotta see, yeah, ayy. We all get money, yeah, yeah. Bitch, we all get money, yeah, yeah. We all get money, yeah, yeah. Bitch, we all get money. Let's go, ayy.
We all the money, shake it, sorry.
When you can't do nothing else, just start shaking your head. Now that was the worst one out of everybody. But I mean, she didn't really do nothing. She didn't do nothing. She just, like, we just get money. Yeah, I could have did that shit. Put me on the list. But, you know, I take this shit with a grain of salt, especially for artists like this. Like, these artists ain't these artists. These artists ain't, rest in peace to these artists, but they not these people. So I don't really expect too much in that realm of doing shit. I don't expect too much. You know, salute to them. These they dreams. I mean, it's their dreams, man. They've been waiting on this their whole life. Hey, it's so hard for me to critique shit like this because I'm already knowing these people probably can't even do the type of things that I spelled conversation so wrong at the bottom of this damn thing. Join the converse stay I own. Oh, I fucked that up. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. These people, you don't expect that from these people, right? Moray shit, I want to hear him like do that crooning, singing shit. Lakia, I never heard of her. I looked her up after the list came out. DDG, he's put out some, you know, decent music. But as far as, you know, this being the class that's going to be like the next people, because you got to think, this is the 2021 class. So y'all, you would expect these artists that are on this class to be around through this decade. I can't predict the future. Shit happens, but I don't know. Salute to everybody on the list. But we're going to react to the list as it come out. I'm excited to see what Blast does. From the snippets I've seen, the beat that they gave Pooh Shiesty, it worked for him. It worked for 42 Doug. In the snippets I've seen, those two are probably going to be good on their Cypher just because it kind of aligns with the type of beats and what they do already. So I would assume that they're going to be fine when they're up to bat in their XXL freshman Cypher. But like I said, I don't think the XXL freshman list means as much anymore because most artists, when they blow up and get big, they just skip the list because they are like, oh, I'm too big for this. So these are like B tier, C tier people, besides like a Pooh Shiesty, but he's most likely going to go to prison for a little bit of time for all the shit they got on him. But besides that, it ain't like the people who you think are going to be around for the next 10 on a mainstream level. Standing next to names like this, it's not going to be those type of people that are on the list. So anyways, let's get to DaBaby. DaBaby's been going through a little bit of controversy. He's had a couple of controversial weeks, of course, doing the song with Tory Lanez, Scat. We spoke about that one time. But yesterday, he went viral because a video of him only giving these little kids $2 for their box of candy, or a piece of the box of candy that these kids were trying to give out to DaBaby. So that's really awkward. So fans turn on DaBaby after viral video of him shutting down kids selling candy. Oh my God, the evil. He's evil. He's a goddamn evil villain character because he gave the kids $4 and the kids were asking for $200 per box. For $200, I think it was like Gushers or something like fruit snacks. That's $200. So DaBaby refuses to be out hustled. When a couple of teenagers came up to him on the street and tried to sell him 2 boxes of candy for $200, the rapper decided to teach them a lesson. He found out that they were selling individual bags for $2, counting up all the bags they were selling him, and told them that the boxes wouldn't even add up to over $100. In the end, he gave the teens $4 and left with 2 bags of candy. The entire thing was captured on video, and initially it didn't cause too much of a ruckus. The rapper was criticized for only giving them $4 when he has millions in his bank account. But for the most part, fans said that DaBaby was teaching them a valuable lesson. Now, it appears as though the lesson wasn't so valuable after all because DaBaby's treating online, and fans starting to turn on him for this exact video. So right now, it looks like there's an even mix of people defending DaBaby's action, criticizing him. The rapper has every right to not buy candy if he does not want to, but the way he went about it may have been inappropriate. Similarly, Meek Mill was called out for giving like the water boys in Atlanta, they run up and bang on your car, only giving them $20. Now that water boy shit, like they be harassing people for the bread. Like if you driving, right, bro, and you in your, you gotta understand these rappers, they in like certain type of cars, right? Like, fuck that. Even my regular car, I don't want people running up on, being all up in, jumping on, they reaching in the car. I don't want none of that shit. So if you give them $20, you give them $20 because they could have had nothing. So I don't have a problem with how people disperse their own money. But let's just read some of the commentary from the Twitterverse on, because you know Twitter is where you get the reaction. You know Twitter is where you get the outrage. So let's see the people that are outraged about DaBaby giving these kids $4, $2 each for their candy. Not shocked that people are defending DaBaby. People dream of attaining excess wealth just so they can shit on others. They want their chance at being rich dickheads. So, shit, the kid lied. He said $200 for the thing. And DaBaby decided, okay, well, you trying to out-hustle me. You didn't out-hustle me. I'm going to give you $2. Now, could DaBaby have realistically gave the kids $200, let them keep the candy, and keep it pushing? Yeah, he could have. Would it have been the good thing for social media looks? Yeah. And maybe with what DaBaby's kind of been going through the past couple of weeks, whether you agree with him working with Tory or you don't agree with him working with Tory, because obviously him and Meg had some kind of relation. I don't know if they were best friends. They just made good music together. So we don't know too deep into that relationship. But it would have been a good PR move to just be like, here, kids, give you $200. But then Rocio, the jeweler, says, why would you, as a black man, go and violate 2 black boys selling snacks on the street? You're supposed to give them some change and tell them to keep the snacks so they can hold on to more inventory. DaBaby is a fucking bozo. I want the worst for him. Like, social media will have you like saying some wild and crazy. Because he gave these kids $4 rather than, I know he has a lot of money. That's fine. That's cute. But because he decided not to give them however much money he had, this Twitter user decided, I wish the worst for him. He act like he know these kids, or he is these kids. Social media is a wild place, boy. So what else we got on here? So we got DaBaby shaking hands with Meek Mill, not helping kids trying to make money selling stuff on the street. Not helping, what do you mean? Meek Mill gave them $20. DaBaby gave them $4. They're going to continue to sell that candy on the street. They tried to out-hustle him. And he decided now what, like I said, I'm only speaking from what DaBaby is saying and speaking, right? I would have gave them little niggas some money. I give homeless people money all the time. And they don't even sell me or ask me for nothing. I get like that's why I feel like God like it's like we can't make you too wealthy because you might go a little too crazy with your wealth. Like if I was wealthy like these people, I'd be breaking homeless people off like thousands of dollars. Like, boom, because they they got the bags of cash. I would do that, but I'm not gonna be mad at somebody else for how they decide to manage and deliver their money. I've seen no less than 20 people say that DaBaby was teaching those kids a valuable lesson. I'm trying to figure out the lesson he was teaching. The lesson, I would say, if we wanted to find a lesson within the message, is do not overvalue your product because people find out you're a liar and they won't pay. Anyways, boys, 200 for some chocolates, DaBaby, meme. Y'all mad at DaBaby for saying here's $4 instead of whatever I was going to give you in the first place because y'all tried to finesse me. It sounds like a lesson taught. Y'all tripping. Guap Dad, I actually agree with DaBaby for doing them kids like that. They should have been better liars. If anything, they had a horrible finesse game. Between DaBaby and Meek Mill, I'm tired of these rappers disrespecting these black people. Always trying to make it into some shit, man. Like they were trying to make it into some. You're disrespecting these. If those were some, stop it, chill. If those were some white kids and DaBaby would have did them like that, they would not be saying this. They wouldn't. They would be like, the children. They're just trying to help the children. But everybody would have played a race thing, and he hates. They ain't say he hates black people, but you know what they getting at. You know what these Twitter people are getting at. People mad at DaBaby because he didn't reward a clear attempt of lying and finessing. DaBaby was using those kids for content, but the kids couldn't use him for the coin. Interesting. But the thing is, he didn't necessarily use him for content. I guess he did use it for content initially because I guess initially he was going to record himself giving them bread. Then they lied and tried to finesse, and they ended up, they ain't really got finessed because if somebody buys your product at the end of the day, did you get finessed? Like, you made a sale. Like, if I lied and said, hey, this is $200, but I usually sell it for $10, and I still sell that product for $10, I mean, shit, it's a sale. A rapper or anyone else is not obligated to pay $200 for a half box of candy. Those kids saw an opportunity and tried to get over. We collectively hate when people do that, but since the kids were trying to finesse a rich person, it's suddenly okay. It's not. Teach honesty. How do you work with kids, low-income kids, that and agree with DaBaby did to other low-income kids? How do you know those kids are low-income kids? How do you know them kids ain't just selling them for little football? How do you know they're low-income kids? How does she know that? What does she draw from that? Is she saying that because they're black kids? Is that why she's trying to say they're low? How does she know they're low income? They might just be out there. Their parents might have bread, but their parents say, "Hey, we need to get you some entrepreneurship ingenuity in you. So you're gonna go out here and sell this candy." DaBaby was cool for like 6 weeks. Y'all talk about let black kids be kids, but don't kids lie here and there, joke around, play, test their boundaries? Why are you crucifying? I don't know. That's weird. The whole situation is weird. I don't think you should get backlash for it, but social media is going to social media, so they're going to be mad at whatever they're going to be mad at. And like I said, DaBaby is already an easy target because he worked with Tory Lanez, and people do not like that. People do not respect it. People do not like it. So they're just looking for a reason to go at DaBaby. In my opinion, DaBaby has got to do some real PR type shit before he decided to drop his next album. Because people on social media, people on the internet are taking a disliking to DaBaby in the way that he moves, in the way that he carries himself. So if I was his PR team, I would be like, we need to do something to fix the PR with you right now. Right? We need to do a little bit of straightening for you. Because like we spoke about earlier with Stephen A. in the media, how we said the media is the most powerful thing. Same thing in music. If your perception is low within the people's eyes in music, you could be making some of the best music ever. If people do not like you, they will not listen. And if they do listen, they will listen to it with a sour ear because they already have a dislike for you. Some people may be able to look past and be like, this is just great music. Some people will. But a lot of people are trained to only like what is looked at as popular, what is looked at as just the new it thing. So that's why these artists get mad when their names start to get dragged a little bit in the media, because a lot of people, especially when it comes to music, they judge artists off the perception that the media has and paints of them. That's why when you look at a person like Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj was like, the media is trying to end me. They got these narratives against me. Look how everybody's flipped on Nicki Minaj, right? Literally 3 to 4 years ago, everybody hated Nicki Minaj. Everybody's talking shit, right? She's horrible. She's this. She's that. She won't let Cardi in the door. She won't do this. She won't do that. Now, a couple years later, after Cardi been here, now Meg's here. There's a lot of other rap chicks that are going on. They're thriving in the world. Now it's like, oh, we miss Nicki. We want a female rapper to bring out some new, real music. We love Nicki. She's a legend. Give her flowers. But when the media was trained on getting on Nicki ass, she was whack. She was old. She was dusty. She was done with. And when she put out that album, it wasn't appreciated as it should have been because media controls the music game. So you always want your perception to be right within the media. Because if you're good within the media, you'll be good with the fans because most people get their information from the media. They will read a headline. They don't read the stories themselves. They don't research the stories. They get their information secondhand from somebody who is talking to you through a mic, through print, through internet, digital, journals, whatever. That's where people get their information from. So that's just interesting to me just to see how that went for DaBaby. So anyways, I want to get to white people in hip hop. So Jack Harlow feels blessed to have a voice as a white rapper in this era of rap. So this conversation is tied into Jack Harlow. And it's also going to tie into this thing I saw on Academics' Twitch stream yesterday and speaking about Adam 22 and speaking about DJ Vlad as well and their place on, I guess a list came out where it's like a hip hop Mount Rushmore. So it's pertaining and talking about that. But anyways, Jack Harlow feels blessed to have a voice as a white rapper in this era of rap. So anyways, it's common to see white rappers stake their claim in the industry and even excel above their black counterparts. While it's still a polarizing discussion that often ignites conversation about skill, style, and authenticity, fans have celebrated artists of all backgrounds in the rap game for decades. Jack Harlow is Generation Now's hitmaker that has steadily growing buzz over the past few years, but when his breakout What's Poppin' dominated social media, the Kentucky native star reached new heights. There was a debate among rap fans this year after BET Awards released their nominations, showing that Harlow had received 3 nods, while other popular black artists weren't recognized. In a recent chat with Yahoo, Harlow spoke about being accepted within rap fold by his black peers, as well as fans who have embraced his talents. So, if you don't know who Jack Harlow is, this is Jack Harlow. I'm sure you know who Jack Harlow is if you're watching this. I feel blessed to have a voice in this period because one, I'm not a street artist, and 2, I'm not black, said Harlow. The only thing keeping me here right now is the level of authenticity of being myself. Speaking specifically about hip-hop's transition from the 2008 to 2011 era, he added all this stuff was coming into the fold, and it had the energy surrounding it of, we're letting the white kids come to the party. We're all in this together. So I don't know if he was speaking like previously before 2008, 2011, that like white people were not allowed into hip hop. I don't know if that's what he's saying because obviously he couldn't be saying that because Eminem was literally the biggest artist in hip hop for shit. He still might be one of the biggest artists in hip hop today, just as far as like sales and every time he drops, like the buzz around Eminem, like everything that's crazy like that. But Harlow had conversation with fellow Kentucky rapper Nemo Achita about this more recent shift, especially as it pertains to the energy of protest and civil rights within hip-hop. Achita feels like the country going into these new civil rights moments almost shifted away from, let's have the white boy at the party, Harlow said. It became less about let's all be diverse together and turn back into hip-hop being it needs to be a black genre. That just been the natural transformation of things, I think. So pretty much what he's saying is he's glad that he has a voice because now with everything going on, political protests, Black Lives Matter, this like that, people are kind of like trying to, I don't want to say hoard their things, but they're trying to grab their things and bring it all in like, no, these are our people. This is our shit. Like, you're a guest here. Well, actually, we don't even want you as a guest anymore. We want you to go do your own shit. So one thing I can say about Jack Harlow is, I mean, my thing about Jack Harlow is a lot of people give him too much credit. Not too much credit. A lot of people will be mad that he's getting nominated over certain other black artists. But if we look at the talent level that Jack Harlow has, he might be one of the top young people that's out right now as far as talent. When I first heard him on What's Poppin', I was like, now this is a little bit misguided. Now thinking back on it, the take doesn't really make any sense. But initially, I was like, he sounds kind of like a. I don't know. I said it in reaction. I say he sound like a Drake, right? Not the singing, not the whatever, but I don't know his presence, the way he was doing shit. It reminded me of Drake initially. Now he's kind of coming to his own. He does his own little thing. What's Poppin' was huge. The remix was huge. I haven't heard too much from him after that. I know he dropped the album. There are I'll say just B-Dot within the hip hop purists like Lane, who said that Jack Harlow had one of the best albums last year. I want to actually go back and listen to that just to, not to confirm it was one of the best albums, just to give a listen for myself. But I don't really get the point of like this article. Like I don't get like what he's trying to say. Like he's happy to have a voice because white people, it feels like white is going back to this is a black thing. Like you shouldn't be a part of this music. Like I said, we had Mac Miller, G-Eazy, Machine Gun Kelly. He ran his ass right over the rock. He said, hip hop's cool. I got into a battle with Eminem, but you know what? I'm gonna go on the rock because y'all hip hop people really don't fuck with me like that. And I'm gonna go make all this money. Right? The whole look of MGK is completely different. Like it's not even the same guy that we remember. But I want to go into the conversation about the Mount Rushmore shit because Academics made a couple good points about Adam 22 and DJ Vlad that I kind of essentially agree with. Now, his point was that there was a list. When all that Mount Rushmore shit was coming out, when we were like, who's the greatest rapper? Who's the top? Who's on the Mount Rushmore? Kendrick, Drake, Cole, and let's leave this 4th spot open for whoever. Someone did a list where they said, who are the hip hop media personality Mount Rushmore? And obviously the 3 that come to mind in this generation, not from all time, just this generation immediately, will come to Charlemagne, will come to Joe Budden, will come to Academics. So Academics brought up the point that DJ Vlad and No Jumper were kind of like a little bit salty because they were left out of the mix. They were left out of the conversation of the top hip hop media personalities because they started bringing up their views. They're like, DJ Vlad's like, well, I quadruple the views of any of these platforms that we named below here. And I think Adam 22 kind of had the same similar sentiments as well in regards to the list. But he made a good point. He said these guys are not solely based in hip hop news and hip hop media. They interview rappers from time to time, but it's not to the level of a personality of we want to hear what you have to say about X, Y, and Z within the culture. They'll listen to them interview people because the person they're interviewing is interesting to watch interview. Not necessarily like they are great or the greatest interviewers. They could, like especially DJ Vlad, he could pull shit out of people to create a good interview, but you're not, the personality is not what people are really there to hear or to listen to. So when you look at it from that perspective, you look at it from a personality perspective, he's right. Because when you want to know what happened recently, let's say the story that happened with, what's a big story that came out recently in hip hop that we talked about? Let's just say the King Von shit. The King Von getting pointed out as a witness in the murder of this guy named K.I. Most people in rap aren't going to run to DJ Vlad or run to Adam 22 to hear their perspective and their opinion on it. So are they really staples in hip hop? That's a good conversation because I'm just thinking about it. Like the platforms are big, right? The platforms give opportunity and a voice to people within hip hop, but are they themselves staples in hip hop? As far as by themselves, like Adam carrying a show just about hip hop on his own, is he a staple? I would say Adam 22 more than Vlad. Only because at least Adam 22 does a weekly show with his guys where they do discuss hip hop things. And I'm never going to discount a guy putting out a show and it getting like 200,000 views and that show being surrounded and mostly talked about within hip hop. Not them, but a girl named K. Is a girl? That was a boy. He killed a girl? That wasn't no girl. Hold on, bro. You lying. That is not a girl. My bad, I'm getting off track, but that was not a girl. 17-year-old Gakira Barnes. That is a girl. But why do you, okay, that it don't look like a girl. It's a girl. So he killed a woman. So one of Chicago's most notorious shooters was a girl? That's what the article says right here. My bad, I didn't mean to play that. Chicago police released documents that confirm King Von murdered one of Chicago's most notorious killers, a female named K.I. I mean, it's not really hard for people to be killers. Anybody could be a killer. I guess I am just amazed, like, because we don't really see levels of violence like that within women. Even though she obviously wanted to go towards a more I don't think being masculine means violence, but you know what I'm saying. Like, men are more prone to violence than women, and then obviously when you can see the look, she's honed in on that aspect of being a male. So I'm not surprised by it, but typically you don't see that. But you can also maybe put this person as a covert operative. You'd be like, hey, that's just K.I., the female that runs. She's not really dangerous. But obviously, this person is very dangerous. Twin brother. They had a twin brother. Hey, bro, you got goddamn, y'all know all the damn info. I just seen a couple of videos, read a little bit of this report right here. I didn't even see that initial thing. There was a girl. This person was clapping people in Chicago. This is the killer of Chicago. I mean, she killed 7 people. People in Chicago get shot like a lot. But still, the fact that this is the shooter is mind-blowing to me. That's crazy. Do one of these YouTubers got one of these documentaries on her that, how they do like these things like, documenting the life, trials, and tribulations of this gang person in Chicago. They have a video about this person on YouTube, like a Trap Lord Ross type person or anybody of that nature. Do they have a video like that? Because I would like to see it. But anyways, I got carried away from the topic that was at hand, and it was the Adam 22 being a staple or a person in hip-hop. I guess I get Academic's point when he says that as far as being a personality, he is not. But if you're looking at platforms that interview people, I would have to say that he has to be there, just because what other interview platforms are as big as his? What other interview platforms get as many views as his? Now I know we're lumping in the views of the porn stars, we're lumping in the views of the Instagram celebrities, we're lumping in the views of all the other aspects that he does within his No Jumper brand. Is not solely a hip hop brand, but when he does interview rap artists and rap people, they do get views. They do obviously help people in their careers because No Jumper does have a big fan base. So if we wanted to put a personality at number 4 on the Mount Rushmore, I would not really have a problem with putting Adam 22 there because, like I said, I feel like he I don't want to say he adds more to the conversation, but he does discuss it. He has the morning show, he does the AD, like he does a little bit more in regards to the day-to-day conversation within hip-hop. DJ Vlad is more like a documentarian, a historian, where he's speaking to older rappers and they're telling their older stories, which is still a crucial part, but it is not the new day-to-day thing that people are, rushing to hear DJ Vlad's opinion about what's going on in the world. We're going to rush to hear the artist or the whoever he interviewed when he asked him the question, but we're not going to run and listen to DJ Vlad's own personal opinion on X, Y, and Z topic that is going on within today's hip-hop society. But if we did take out Adam 22 and we did take out DJ Vlad, who would be the fourth person? Who would be the fourth person in hip-hop media that would be on that Mount Rushmore-esque thing. Standing next to Joe Budden, standing next to Charlamagne, standing next to academics. Who would be that number 4 person? If you just go by YouTube standards, I mean, maybe probably Nori. I say Nori, but Nori like interview old people too. It's not like a new. I mean, I say Gilly and Wallow. I say Gilly and Wallow. I'll put them on that Mount. If we're gonna say who's the biggest people in hip hop media, I'll say Gilly and Wallow over Nori, Gilly and Wallow over Adam 22, just because they kind of speak to the up to date biggest. Like they had Young Thug on. Like these people are getting debate. Like they're getting the interviews I'm sure Adam 22 wishes that he could get today. Like he's getting Gilly and Wallow are getting Breakfast Club level type rap guest on their show. So I would put Gilly and Wallow in that category of the top hip hop media with their group of today. With academics, with Joe, you still got to put Joe in there. You say Joe is still Joe, but he's still Joe Budden. Charlamagne, I don't know. Late, not maybe not now because he's more focused on mental health and this and that. He dives into pop culture still to this day. Obviously, still has rappers come and interviews him on the show, but he's like he's like kind of. I want to say like he elevated out of hip hop. Like hip hop is like this below tier because hip hop is pop culture, but he's kind of graduated, I would say, into this other sphere of where he might end up being like late night talk show host, like in that realm of mainstream America-esque type of things in that level. But anyways, that's all I got for you, man. Just came out here to chop it up, go live, talk about a couple of topics, talk about a few things. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you get a comment down below any thoughts, opinions, what you think about anything that we discussed here today. Everything is an open forum. I'm always open to being wrong. Everybody, motherfuckers think I'm wrong all the time. I spoke about everything yesterday. I got a bunch of comments about the Hassan Campbell thing. People didn't agree with some of those sentiments. People didn't agree with me saying Maria Taylor should be grateful for getting $5 million. She does not deserve Stephen A. Smith money because, I mean, realistically, she'll do the same job. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm about to head up out of here. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys have a great night. Stay safe. Love your families. See you guys next time, man. Peace.